Hi. So in this video, I will take a break from my detail focus that I tend to fall into when I'm doing a project, try to zoom out a little bit and also travel back in time to like a year ago when I first had the idea for the batch indexing machine. What's the core of the idea? Why am I doing this project? And why am I doing the project this way? So one way to put it is that the batch indexing machine is about selling stuff online. And when you do that, you have to make an assessment. All right. Will it be worth the effort? Because if the expected return is less than the cost of selling, well, then you're better off throwing the thing away or leave it in a box and throw it away 5 years later. And the cost of selling, of course, also include the effort, like snapping photos of the thing and writing a text and so on. So this is how the selling stuff online works now. And what I hope the batch indexing machine can do is to radically lower the cost of selling for many type of parts. Basically flipping the equation around and putting a lot of new circularly sourced parts on the market. So what's indexing then? Well, when Google is indexing the web, it sends out bots that scan the web for information. Basically at this specific IP address, there's a website with these words on it. And this information is then used when you do a web search. And indexing parts is basically the same thing. So at this warehouse in box 3678, there is a part that looks like this. And we should, of course, be able to search for it and then buy it. Well, this brings us to this flow chart that shows my view of the different stakeholders in a batch indexing market. So we have the enablers on top there, and their most obvious contribution is that they provide the machines. But they also provide services like logistics and the building blocks created, the needed to create digital services for these guys over here. And their incentive is to make indexing of parts a thing, a big global thing. Then we have the indexing plants. And this is where the physical parts are being indexed and stored. And when a part is sold, this is where it's shipped from. These guys want effective machines so that they can index as many parts as possible at a low cost. And the indexing plants could, of course, be run by the indexing enablers. And initially, I think this will probably be the same company. But the reason that this is a stakeholder of its own is that the indexing plants have a very local focus. We don't want to ship parts around the world if we don't need to. So the best thing would be that every city around the world has an indexing plant. And I guess it makes sense to run them locally then, right? And the indexing plants, they want to sell parts. So of course they want to publish images of the parts, basically the data that the indexing process provides. So this means that a huge open data set is available to entrepreneurs worldwide that can now get creative with this data. So that would be these guys over here, right? For example, this could be someone that makes AIs that find specific, highly sought after parts for old cars. Then they can call dibs on these parts. Buy them perhaps, but there's no need to move the parts physically. And then they can sell the parts expensive on a website directed at vintage car enthusiasts. Basically make the part Googleable. So if you search for Alfa Romeo 1973 blah blah blah, you will find this part. It could also be a company that specializes in finding parts in bulk and then provide 3D CAD models of these parts so that product developers can lift these 3D models into their design for new products and still be reassured that there are enough parts like this out there so they can do serial productions of products with circularly sourced parts in them. Really, it's impossible to know what creative people will come up with, and that's why the enablers should focus on enabling the creativity, and that should also be the focus of this project. The project is the enabler at this point, and we share the same incentives. So looking at the requirements for an indexing machine, it needs to be efficient and reliable. The indexing plants want that, right? That means fully automated. And one way to achieve efficiency is to work with batches of parts rather than individual parts. So if you process 100 parts at the same time, arguably the process is 100 times more efficient. And that's why I call this project a batch indexing machine, because it works with batches. Other than that, I will not go into the tech too much in this video, but there's other videos for that. It also needs to produce data that can be used to feed AI algorithms, basically so that the online vendors have something to work with. And that's basically the entire design challenge. Build a machine, release a big publicly available data set, and then get creative with it. And I have no doubt that open source is the way to go. And on a personal level, I'm starting to enjoy this way of working, doing videos and so on. And I have a feeling that something good will come out of it, career-wise or whatever. So I'm committed to this notion that whatever is good for this idea is also good for me. So that means committed to keeping things open and fun. Thanks for watching, and check out my other videos for more nerdy content of how the batch indexing machine actually works. And subscribe to this channel if you want to follow the process of designing and building the next revision of the batch indexing machine. Take care. Bye-bye.